Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Simon. It's on silent for those that's been here, and hello to everyone that's new. As part of our series of events to promote the Simon Youth Piano Competition in 2025, we've been inviting back a lot of our previous winners to share the experience of joining the competition and also update us about their progress and also the journey as musicians. Today, we're really excited to have Guy, who was the grand prize winner of the Simon Youth Piano Competition in 2022 and currently an Eton Scholar. So today we'll be doing a sharing session. We'll be having a bit of conversation. Guy will also be playing for us, but we'll start the event by having him tell us a little bit more.
Hi everyone, my name is Guy, as you know. I'm 15 years old and currently studying at Eton College in the UK. And I've been playing the piano for 11 to 12 years now. Before I continue, I would like to sincerely apologize to Kuon for what I'm about to say. So, throughout my journey of piano, I've learned a vast amount of things, but one thing that I know for certain, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate to this, that is I really hate practicing the piano. It's just something boring. Since I was 4 years old, I heard a lot of phrases growing up, things such as, piano is good, your siblings play the piano, you should learn it, piano is the base of all instruments, piano is this, piano is that, blah, blah, blah. Piano to me just felt like a chore. I wasn't really forced to do it, but I was just playing repetitively without purpose. And to be honest, I only enjoyed the praise and compliments that I get from saying I play the piano, and the practicing part, I never really liked it. To me, it's kind of like torture, almost like repetitive passages over and over again until my fingers ache and my mind feels numb. The countless hours I've spent on the black and white keys, wishing I could be anywhere else doing something else. But despite having many other interests, whether in academics, sports, or just being a teenager in general, I've spent a significant amount of time in my life at the piano. And I kind of realized that piano wasn't just only teaching me how to play music, it began to shape who I am. When I was little, a lot of my hard work paid off. I started winning competitions, playing in recitals, and receiving recognition that felt kind of surreal for someone my age. And, I loved it, but I still hate practice. I was always overly competitive, and, I kind of chased that high of success, that high of winning again and again. And, I didn't really take the time to reflect and look what it did to me. I was only thinking about winning. And the more I won, the more I feared losing, and the more I became defined by my achievements. And anything less than first place, to me, felt like failure. And then came my first loss. And, I remember it quite vividly. I practiced just as much, just as hard, put all my effort and all my time, but in the end, my name wasn't even called. And, a rush of emotions overwhelmed me at that moment. Emotions I'd never felt before. Disappointment, confusion, anger. But it also kind of gave me a sense of relief. It was kind of a wake-up call, and it wasn't an easy one to take, but it kind of taught me that success isn't always guaranteed. And, it felt horrible, and I kind of wanted to give up, but my mom encouraged me to keep on going. So I did. And as time went on, I won more competitions, but I also started losing some. Winning was still kind of, I don't want to sound bad, but winning was still kind of expected. And each loss kind of brought its own wave of frustration, anger, confusion, and like a lingering question of what do I do now? And I still kept on playing, and I wasn't really having a goal in mind or a direction. I was just, again, playing without purpose. I only wanted to win for the trophies, medals, and compliments. But yeah, that loss was kind of devastating to me, and it gave me a sense of clarity, which made me question the deeper reason why I started playing the piano in the first place. And yeah, as time went on, I kept winning, losing, and blah blah blah. But one of my most memorable competitions um, was the Kaufman Music Center Youth Piano Competition. I believe in 2019. It was held in New York, and it wasn't just any regular competition that I've faced before. It was an intense program that required over 30 minutes of performance with 6 selected different finalists from different countries around the world. And I was lucky enough to be the representation of Thailand. To be honest, I wasn't even ready 2 weeks before the competition. And when I landed in New York, the reality of the challenge hit me, and it hit me hard. And I realized that I had to push myself like never before to even stand a chance on that stage. And you can ask Ruorn, the practice sessions were incredibly grueling. 6 to 7 hours a day, every day, leading up to the competition. I felt completely unmotivated. I didn't want to practice at all. But I almost gave up as well. Ruorn asked me if I wanted to take a break. I almost said yes, but my heart and my mind told me to refuse, as I knew I came all my way here. I was determined to, do my best, even if the outcome wasn't as expected, and I didn't really have much hope then. But after pouring my heart out, my blood, sweat, and tears, all my effort, my skills, my everything into those practice sessions, for the competition day, something magical happened. I wasn't just playing without purpose. I wasn't just playing the notes. I was playing with a depth and passion I hadn't felt in such a long time. And, luckily, or not luckily, but fortunate, I won the competition with, multiple prizes. And at that moment, a rush of emotions overwhelmed my body. The same emotions I felt as a kid when I first started winning, but with a deeper sense of satisfaction and understanding. That competition taught me something incredibly profound, and it was one of the greatest musical challenges I've ever faced. It taught me something invaluable. It taught me that the process is just or even more important than the outcome. Leading up to those intense moments when the results were announced, and after it was announced, I wasn't thinking about the recognition, compliments. I wasn't thinking about the trophies, the medals, the recognition. I was thinking about my journey and how I struggled, fought through with discipline, and became the best version of myself on stage. And as Vince Lombardi said, the price of hard work is dedication to the task at hand. Determination, whether you win or lose. We have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. And to me, that's what kind of defines true success. It's not how many times you win, it's how many times you can take the losses and use it as a lesson in disguise, an opportunity for you to improve yourself so you can become better. And so I've been trying to apply this kind of mentality or the saying in my head, similarly to how my mom always says, you shouldn't bother doing anything if you're not going to do your best. I've been trying to apply that to all areas of my life, whether I'm learning a challenging musical piece, or I'm giving a difficult academic assignment or a new experience in life. I tell myself to put my head down and do my best and not think about the outcome, because the journey is what truly matters. Unlike how the Oxford Dictionary would define it, failure to me is not the opposite of success, but rather an inevitable part of success. You can't win all the time. Losing is what makes you grow in order to become better and eventually win. And yeah, my message to all of you is kind of like, try to take failures or losses as a fuel to pick yourself up and give yourself the courage to strive for excellence even when the odds are stacked up against you. And just enjoy the journey, because that's what truly matters. But if you ask me today if I'd rather win or lose, obviously choose win, because who doesn't love winning? But that kind of wouldn't be possible without one or two things. And first thing is doing the thing I extremely, extremely hate, and that's practice. And it kind of gave me discipline and kind of shaped my character to become or to get me where I am today. And the second point is, to make life much easier, you could get some good equipment for practice timing. Yeah, I hope you get my message and try to incorporate it in your life as well. Thank you.
I don't think it can be better said. Obviously, you put a lot of thought and deep consideration into this. It almost sounds like a TED talk, right? So many things strikes you really deep. I don't think I can put it better. We will have a little bit more to talk about, so we have time for that. But I think now people want to hear you play, so we'll invite you to play your first piece, right?
I'll be playing Law Number 1 of Opus 23. Chopin. Thank you.
Well, before we begin, I think another round of applause for Guy for both his performance. It always surprises me, but also heartens me when I speak to people their age. You know, you could be 20 or 30, and listening to someone at 15 talk with so much maturity and depth, it inspires us. But it also makes sure we have to stay up to date. I think there are three things that you mentioned that really touches me a lot. The first one, or the first lesson I got was, it's really about, you win some and you lose some.
Yeah.
And sometimes having those losses helps you appreciate your wins a lot more, right? If you're constantly winning, it becomes the norm. And when you lose, and the next time you win, I think that gives you a much greater sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
The second thing you said that really struck me was failure really is the path to success. If you're very afraid to fail, it's going to be very difficult to get to a higher level of success. And most importantly, you talked about enjoying the process. So today we want to talk about a little bit about your process,
Yeah.
right? So you've got a lot of achievements, obviously, and from my perspective, I have to say one of your most interesting achievements, to me at least, would be winning the Steinway Youth Piano Competition as the grand prize winner. So if you don't know, Guy also competed under some very unique circumstances. It was COVID. It was a very different world back then, a very new thing for many of us. So I'm hoping you could share some new experiences
Yeah.
and learning points of competing under those strange and new circumstances. Yeah.
So during the SYPC, it was kind of a unique experience because of COVID-19. So I think there's like three main points that kind of changed my process and how I had to adapt during those times. So I think the first point was because of COVID and social distancing, I couldn't take in-person lessons. So it was kind of difficult because I had to learn and communicate through Skype with some lags and bad microphone and poor quality and sometimes bad network, but I managed to kind of get there eventually. But after seeing Kru Orn in person, after those online lessons, we had so many spots to fix, and which weren't heard because they were like tiny details you can hear through the microphone. So it was kind of tough, but we managed to get it done for the competition. Second point would be practicing. For some people, I think COVID kind of like blocked them from access to like practice rooms and stuff. But luckily, I have a Steinway at home, so it was quite easily accessible, and especially, I didn't really go outside during COVID, so I spent a lot of time in the house, so I didn't really have to manage much time. It was just in my house, so I just practiced. So it kind of helped me in a sense. And my third point is the competition itself was practically online because it was recorded. The judges weren't in person, they were sent to them. And I think, not to sound like a sore loser, but one of my strongest suits when playing the piano is probably conveying emotions and expression. And I didn't really think all of that could be captured through the lenses of a camera. So I think, okay, I'm not going to say that's why I didn't win the regional round, but I was proud to represent Thailand, especially in those unique times, and it taught me to become more resilient and adaptable to circumstances that could change.
And I think it's also important to note that back then you were even much younger.
Yeah.
So he's only 15 now. So 4 years ago, for him to do something that none of us had been through, I think that was really very courageous. But also, I had to say your teachers, and you had a really good team that supported you behind. So again, thank you for joining the competition, and I'm sure and hope that that competition gave you much bigger stepping stone to where you are. And speaking about where you are, you're currently studying at a relatively notable and prestigious boarding school in the UK. How do you see these achievements that you've attained in the past as key factors in a successful application to Eton as a music scholar?
So, for Eton, in order to become a music scholar, you need to get into the school first.
Right.
But once you get in, the process isn't too complicated. They require you to play like two different instruments. So for me, my priority was piano. Instead of two, I did three. So I had viola and saxophone for my application, but two is the standard.
Right.
And so from what I can tell during the audition, I think they looked, obviously you have like your portfolio, your grade exams and competitions. That was kind of good for me because I don't know if you know, but Eton is an all Steinway school.
Yeah.
And so when they saw a Steinway grand prize winner, they kind of acknowledged how far I've come, and maybe that was also the reason why my application to the music scholarship was unique. But they also, I think they cared more about how you connect with the audience, rather than making sure everything is. Yeah. And I think that's what made me successful in applying for the music scholarship.
And it's great to hear because
It's only there's only 8 music scholars in a year of 250 people.
Right.
So although the process isn't that different from any other place, it's kind of competitive.
Right, for
very
sure.
competitive.
I don't think any scholarship applications would be easy anyway, especially in a school like Eton. What I was going to say was, you've mentioned it twice now, and I think communication and conveying your expressions or your emotions is definitely something you're good at, and hopefully music will allow you to do that even more. Talking about the skills you have, I don't think living in a different country is ever an easy thing, especially when you're away from your family. It's a different environment, away from the comforts that you have. Do you think music has helped you? Or if yes, how has music helped you to adjusting to life in a new country and building connections in these new communities?
So apart from like musical skills, piano has kind of made me a more confident person, I would say. And because of playing in front of people since a young age, competitions and stuff, I kind of developed this kind of quality that I'm not really afraid to talk to new people. And especially when moving to the UK, I kind of like settled in quite fast. It took like only a few days and I got really close with all my friends there. But I think what made it a lot easier as well is the community there, and especially the music community there, because music is a universal language, and everybody who is in the department loves music, and it was kind of easy for me to like get to know them and talk about music. So yeah, I think that's how music has kind of helped me.
Right, and I think it's true. Music really is a global language. It is a universal language. So music helps us connect to people. And just coming back onto how you say one of your strengths is conveying and connecting with people. I do see how that comes hand in hand with music. So enough of us talking. I think you have another piece to bring for us, and that's List. So we'll have you perform that for the rest of this program.
I just need to catch my breath. Okay.
All right.
So I'll be playing Mephisto Waltz, number 1 by Liszt. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, please stay on stage with me. So, firstly, thank you very, very much for both the insightful talk and the powerful performance. Very quickly, I have to share a little bit about the Steinway Youth Piano Competition. So, we've been giving out a bit of information. The jury has just been announced. We are also very excited to announce that for next year, the grand prize winner will be on a scholarship to perform at a festival in France. So this will be the first time that we're having a collaboration with an overseas trip where the grand prize winner will get an opportunity to travel and also to perform, and it'll be covered by the organizers. So we will start applications in October, and between now and then, if you've got any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, thank you once again. We have a little gift for you, so. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and have a good afternoon. Thank you.